got the killers over here.
Yeah! We got the killers over here. Yeah!
Came over to the bench and grabbed your Sharpie pen. He wrote on his shoes LLTC. That stands for Long Live Terrence Clark, the former Kentucky basketball player who tragically passed away last year. Amari Bailey plays for him when he plays. He writes that on his shoes every game. He's looking to continue his dream next year at UCLA and on to the NBA. Steve?
Thank you, Chris. I told him I'm never going to wash that Sharpie again. On the drive, shot is up and good. And Dylan Matoyer with his first made field goal of the game. That'll cut it to a 4-point game.
Now, Matoyer started that 12-0 run in the third quarter, Steve, on Saturday night at Harvard-Westlake that extended the lead of 1 for the Blazers to 13. And Harvard-Westlake never really responded en route to the Blazers.
Elohim, that's going to be his first, the 5th on Sierra Canyon. So here's your first quarter recap. Shai Odom out with a knee injury, although we saw him come back out on the floor right before the start of the second quarter out of the locker room. Centennial, 3 quick threes to get out to a 9-0 lead. They had 5 threes in the first quarter, as that time they missed by Freeney. And then Donovan Dent, knee injury, not an issue. And so you're up to date. Amari Bailey playing in the first quarter. He did not against Harvard-Westlake. He came in the second quarter, ignited the team. McCain ahead to Freeney. Here's McCain, very sought-after junior, looking for an assist here, and he's going to get it as Huff has a 4th made three-pointer in this game. Oh, Ramsey.
He has been tremendous, and he's getting clean looks, Steve, and he's knocking them down.
That's a kid that has a Division II offer from Cal State East Bay, Menlo College, a Division III offer. Rising up and taking the 3 and missing there was Jeremy Niarco, the 3-star recruit from St. John Bosco, the transfer. And the foul's going to go against Freeney here. That's going to be the first on Freeney. And it sends Ramel Lloyd, the Nebraska signee, ESPN 100, 81st best player in the nation. So on that ESPN 100, which is for seniors, reserved for seniors, they have 3 players. The number 2 in the nation, Amari Bailey. Number 38, Kajani Wright, who's the 11th best center. And then young Mr. Ramel Lloyd at number 81, their 3rd leading scorer on the team at 12 points a game.
His dad played, of course, at Syracuse, then Long Beach State, toiled overseas for a decade professionally.
McBride sizes up the 3, misses, and it's Niarco with the rebound. 6'8" senior power forward.
Coach Chevalier told us that he wanted to get Niarco more shot opportunities. See if that happens tonight.
Ronnie James scoreless with 4 fouls against Harvard-Westlake. Misses. There's a foul. Ronnie, I thought, did a nice job defensively in that game, and who didn't for the Blazers on Saturday night as they were blitzing ball screens and blitzing anybody that had the ball. There's the head coach of Centennial, Josh Giles, in his 19th season. Led him to a state championship game back in 2014. Actually, in that regional, they beat Chino Hills to get there. I said today, I go, are you glad the Ball brothers are out of the Inland Empire? I said, we were 4-1 against the Ball brothers. And, wow, McBride inside of the paint. He's an even better academic student, we're told, than the basketball player.
Absolutely. A great dish by McCain, Steve, in the painted area.
The 3rd-seeded Sierra Canyon Trailblazers in the regionals. Number 2 in the state of California, 11th nationally, and a whistle. They just want to reset the shot clock to 14. It was sitting up there at 34, so they're going to inbound right in front of the Huskies bench. And it will be Sierra Canyon basketball. Quick substitution, out comes Freeney and Devin Williams in. That's one of the other first quarter recaps I forgot to mention. The great rim protector and great three-point shooter, and Williams picked up 2 quick fouls. His second coming at the 3:12 mark with his team up 8. So they sit him on the bench there for the last 6 minutes or so, and they still have maintained an 8-point lead.
Yeah, exactly. Excellent point. They weathered that storm.
And there's a shot clock violation, and Amari Bailey, of all people, was not aware of it, made the extra pass, and it's another turnover for Sierra Canyon.
And
They had
remember,
4 of those
early
in the first quarter.
Right, and we've got defense in front of the respective benches, Steve. So communication an issue offensively for the Blazers on that possession.
5th turnover of the game for Sierra Canyon. Little motion up top.
Yeah, exactly. Setting the stage here.
Huff is going to take a deep one. Boy, if he made that, I was going to walk out of the building, partner. Offensive rebound, McBride to Williams with his back to the basket. Turns over Bronny James and scores it. Oh, man. And that's going to be out of bounds. Bronny James, the turnover. That's their 6th.
So for the Blazers, you must maintain your focus defensively. Do not let your offensive woes affect your defense. You know, Jack Armstrong, the Toronto Raptors analyst, says, hey, listen, a lot of teams get their mojo from their defense, and in the playoffs, they must win ugly. So it's been a rough start.
There's a lob! Into McBride! How would Jack Armstrong describe that thing?
Oh, boy, he'd say.
Having their way. A 12-point advantage now for the number 1 team in the state of California.
Yeah, Huskies are getting high-quality shots, defending a very well-balanced attack early here for Centennial, ascending to a 12-point lead.
That'll take us to a break. Everything going right for the Huskies here midway through the second quarter. 12-point advantage for the number 1 team in the state of California. 2-time defending Open Division state champs down 12 to the second-ranked team in the nation a moment ago. A thing of beauty, Bill Herenda.
Yeah, absolutely gorgeous execution. Dent, like you said, Steve, they're going to love that at New Mexico, at the pit, feeding McBride.
By the way, that's why McBride's a 69% field goal shooter. That's high percentage. That's a great look. You know what has just made me go wow right now? In this game against such a great defensive team in Sierra Canyon, the Huskies of Centennial have not turned the basketball over in the game yet. We're a full 12 minutes in.
It's incredible.
Matoyer a 3, rebounded by Williams, who's playing with 2 fouls.
That is scintillating offense, Steve, because they're getting high-quality shots. So for the Blazers, you want them to feel you a bit more. The defensive intensity for Sierra Canyon has got to pick up here.
Sierra Canyon 1 of 6 shooting the ball in this second quarter. Down by a dozen when play his dad Eric Freeney will come in. Williams, who's a 44% three-point shooter, missed. And on the run out, Bailey, and look at Williams get up there to block it. Not once, but twice. He's got at least 4 blocks in this game.
Now
and maybe 6 with the 2 fouls.
Exactly, and he's playing with the 2 fouls, Steve, exactly. But watch here, he just dips in there very intelligently, makes the block. So it's been a very well-balanced effort by Centennial to this point.
Elohim rises up on the baseline and buries the jumper. Great sophomore, averaging 10 points, 3.5 boards a game. ESPN 25, which was reserved for sophomores, second-ranked player in the nation. Freeney on the run out, fouled.
So we saw the Blazers there try to extend double team, at the very least to eat up some clock. But again, we see the Huskies able to break that pressure. And Freeney getting to the free throw line, just a freshman, 6'3", 185.
Second on Ramel Lloyd, the Nebraska signee. And Freeney misses the free throw. Harvard Westlake got to the free throw line a mess on Saturday night against the Sierra Canyon team. Freeney makes 1 of 2. 6'4" sophomore who was on varsity. Great entry pass in, trying to go for the dunk. There was Lloyd. He gets rejected, and it's going to be Husky ball. Oh, man.
Great look by Bailey to find Lloyd. He almost shuffled a little bit on the dunk attempt. But a great contest by McBride, and the Huskies take over.
11-point lead for the Huskies. Here's Dent. Dent takes the straightaway 3 and gets the home bounce.
So the contrast, Steve, is that the Huskies are getting excellent looks, but the Blazers all of their looks have been contested.
Yep. A one and done there for Sierra Canyon. Huff has now missed 2 straight after making his first 4 threes. They get it back. Freeney, kick out. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And Huff has grown cold on the run out. What a move! Acrobatic by Bailey for the easy bucket.
When you get stops, you have the ability to get out in transition. And that is what the Blazers need desperately. They need stops if they don't turn the Huskies over and to get out and run.
Under 2 minutes here in the second quarter. Dent takes the screen, shoots off of it. Now they've grown cold, leading to transition opportunities. And then a strip away. Elohim got it back. Tie up. And it's going to be Husky ball on the possession arrow. McBride, how athletic is the 6'7" junior.
Yeah, and again, we see Dent there with a strip. McBride, hands on the basketball. Brendan Brown, the New York Knicks analyst, Scion of Hubie Brown, talks about a deflection, takes about a second and a half off the shot clock. But we talked about hustle plays, Steve, and the Huskies have been delivering.
McCain had it knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with McCain.
But also, if you're the Blazers, you got to feel a little bit better about getting some of these stops, getting out in transition, because that's what they need to get back in this. Can't always focus on results. Focus on the process, getting stops consecutively.
Screen comes from McCain, launches a 3, missed it, runs down his own offensive rebound, and then Lloyd.
You know, you mentioned the Ball brothers earlier, Stephen. Jared McCain has a lot of LaMelo Ball in his game as well.
Bailey kick corner, they make an extra pass. Elohim. Travel.
Yeah, so the turnovers have been a conundrum for Sierra Canyon thus far. I'm sure that Coach Chevalier at halftime will say, listen, it's got to start at the defensive end of the floor. Let's get our stops. That's going to lead to good offense. Don't let your offense affect your D.
28 straight wins for the Huskies. McBride too long on the 3. Now I think they're just settling too much for threes, partner.
Many of these games, Steve, I don't care if you're in the NBA, in college, or in high school, whoever's more effective from the free throw line down wins those games. So keep an eye on that, particularly in the second half.
McCain, very talented junior, and it's going to stick with the Huskies.
And you're absolutely right. You don't want to become infatuated with the easy three-point shots. Make the Blazers work defensively, because that's kind of playing into their hands if you're not making them. And Dent, by the way, Steve, has eschewed the little brace on his knee now. After the first media timeout, he came out and got rid of the brace.
Been playing great. Remember, they sat out the regionals last year. They decided to go to Section 7 college recruiting tournament. They're in it for the first time in a couple of years. On the drive. Oh, what a move by Ramsey Huff, the senior. And momentum back on the side of the Huskies in that first half. They are every bit as good as that number 1 ranking in the state of California. Number 2 nationally, a 14-point halftime lead for Centennial.
Yeah, Huff has stepped up. He's big, averages 9. He's got 15 in that neighborhood at this juncture at halftime.
14-point advantage for Centennial over Sierra Canyon. Kristen's working on getting Andre Chevalier, who has agreed to talk with us, and let's check in with Kristen. Kristen.
Centennial opens up this game on a 9-0 run. They extend their lead to 14 at the half. What was leading to some of those early breakdowns defensively?
They made a lot of threes. We didn't think they were going to make the threes early, so we're hoping they miss so we can get out in transition. So they made their shots so far.
What adjustments would you like to see on that perimeter defense?
Well, we got to guard them closely now and make them drive the ball, and hopefully we can rebound and execute on our side.
All right, thanks, Coach. Appreciate it. Steve?
All right, thanks, Kristen. Thanks, Andre. 14-point advantage in a battle of 1 versus 2 in the state of California. And for the Huskies, who are number 2 in the nation, number 1 in the state, they came out guns a-blazing at a 9-0, taking it to the hole, and Wright had a chance at second chance points and can't get it to go down.
Yeah, that was a good opportunity for Wright, just unable to cash in on that attempt. Can the Blazers get stops? Can the Huskies continue to get high-quality looks?
And we haven't seen Jared McCain score yet. Matoyer's been in his grill the whole time.
Matoyer is a tremendous on-ball defender. Look at him fighting over the screen.
Yep. And a missed shot there by McCain. McBride tried for the offensive rebound, and we got a tie-up. And it should be Huskies' ball.
Yeah, this is just great effort by Matoyer as he gets back involved here and gets his hands on the basketball and gets tied up with McCain.
Jared McCain, 17.5 points per game. USC, UCLA, Houston, Gonzaga, Duke, Louisville have offered. His last 2 recruiting visits were to Duke and Louisville, and he's been shut out so far. Sure, he doesn't mind, though. His team's up 14. Here's Dent.
It's incredible, Steve, that they are.
Hoff had 4 big first-half threes and another miss. They've grown cold on the outside.
So just as Coach Giles told Kristen, they played hard. They fought for every rebound. They contested shots. They got good shots. But they've got to play it for another 16 minutes. You hear George Karl and other coaches talk about sometimes games are a little bit too long for teams, and that's what Coach Giles is going to ensure, that this game's not too long for them.
Bailey saved it from going out of bounds. So did Matoyer. He drives, kicks out. Open in the corner is Lloyd. The 3 goes in and out. Rebounded by McCain.
Good look for Lloyd. Just didn't drop.
Sierra Canyon last won a regional championship game in 2020 at CSUN over Etiwanda. Zaire Williams from the elbow left at the buzzer with a 2 won it. And there's a foul. They did not make the regional championship game last year. And, of course, Centennial opted, since it was in June because of the pandemic, they opted to go to Section 7 in Arizona.
You see Dent here operating. You know, Steve, when you combine Dent's field goal percentage, free throw percentage, and three-point field goal percentage, he's at 167. He's knocking on the door of being a 180 guy.
You're like a basketball or a baseball analytics guy, right? Give me the OPS.
Well, it's part of it. It's not the whole story, right?
Well, the New Mexico signee, 17 points a game, 7 assists, 5 rebounds. Bailey looking for a shot. No-look pass, slung it inside to Lloyd. He's met at the rim and fouled by McBride.
You can really appreciate, hopefully Lloyd's okay here. It looked like he landed kind of awkwardly. You can really appreciate Bailey and his vision and feel for the game. Great cut by Lloyd.
Man, they get guys to the rim on the defensive side. You might recall last year when these two teams played, one of the keys that got overlooked was the fact that Centennial had 12 blocks in that game. That was at Sierra Canyon. That was that game that had LeBron and Drake sitting courtside. There was about $3 million worth of cars in the Sierra Canyon parking lot. It was quite a show in June. The final was 80-72 in favor of Centennial. And Lloyd is limping just a little bit back here on defense. 15-point lead coming up on 6 to go in the third quarter.
You love the perseverance by Lloyd. He missed the first free throw, makes the second.
They stripped that one away from Dent, but it's sticking with the Huskies. 25 to shoot. A little nervous time, maybe some nail biting there.
So this is a critical juncture, no question, for the Blazers. They need stops, need to trust it.
Quick inbound, McBride. Can't get it to go. Bailey through traffic with a shot fake. Lloyd got blocked by Williams again, and there's Wright to clean it all up. The USC senior, who only had 2 points in the first half.
Yeah, Johnny Wright had 18, a game-high 18 Saturday at Harvard Westlake, 8 of 9 from the floor. Maybe that'll get his offensive game going.
I think I meant to say USC signee. I might have said senior. He's a senior headed to USC. McCain draws contact. Lloyd wanted a jump ball. He's not going to get it. Instead, they'll saddle the Nebraska signee with a foul.
Yeah, that looked like a pretty good defensive play. And for Sierra Canyon, they just have to maintain their poise and equanimity here. Just get stops, one possession at a time. You're not going to get it back all in one fell swoop.
How about that move? McBride on the McDonald's All-American and right. That's the right stuff right there.
Tremendous footwork by McBride.
Back to a 15-point lead. McBride, 13 points, 9 rebounds a game, 69% free throw shooter. Lloyd on the drive left it short. And the Huskies had it but stepped out of bounds. So it's staying with Sierra Canyon. Sierra Canyon 4-1 in regional title games. When they lost in June, Centennial was able to break Sierra Canyon's 21-game playoff win streak. And will they be able to shut down the redemption tour here in March of 2022 for Sierra Canyon? Wright misses a chippy. And going coast to coast is Ramsey Huff. Well, if the three's not working, huh? Get to the rim. Price to Elohim. Elohim pull-up jumper is good. Man, that's why he's the second highest rated sophomore in the nation.
Yeah, tremendous offensive ability to create, get to his spot off the dribble, Stephen. Notice the elevation. Tremendous move by Elohim.
He was the California State Freshman of the Year last year when he played at Heritage Christian, Elohim, before transferring in. Here's Jared McCain, still looking for his first points of the game. Dent with a pass to a cutting Williams. He's got guard skills as he lays it in.
Tremendous two-man game with Dent and Williams.
Bailey trying to take over here. Amari Bailey at 6 first-half points. And a timeout on the floor with 3:59 to go in this third quarter. Still a 15-point lead. We've talked about all the star power on display here. How about top 10 recruits? This was something we touched upon on Saturday. This is in the state of California. That Donda Academy, I went back and looked, that's Kanye West's academy out there in Simi Valley to try and rival what Sierra Canyon has done. And you see this game features 3 guys, and all 3 of those guys haven't done much offensively in the game. McCain, James hasn't scored, and I'm not sure Price has either.
So they've been a little quiet, but certainly oodles of talent and attracting major college recruiting attention.
And that, of course, is for the class of 2023. For anybody who's at home, that's the juniors. You're thinking, well, what about Bailey and Wright and Donovan Dent, right, and Jared McCain? Well, those guys are in this 2022 senior class. That was the junior class. There you look at Josh Giles in his 19th season, barking out some instructions here.
Yeah, and you think about McCain, their leading scorer, who averages 17.5 per night, who has yet to score, and you're leading by 15, 4 minutes to go here, just 3:59, just under 4 minutes in the third quarter. If you had told Coach Price that prior to this game, you'd say he'd take it. But Huff has set the stage early, Steve, draining those uncontested threes. We just saw him make a drive to the basket and finish, and here's some extended pressure that you'd expect from the Blazers.
McCain might not be scoring right now, but he has 12 rebounds already, still with 3:45 to go. Here's Dent, bringing his skills to the Mountain West Conference, looking for an assist. Williams! Oh, stretch that floor, big fella!
Williams shoots 44% from 3. That's the highest percentage on the squad.
Lead is 18, biggest of the game for Centennial. Evan Manjikian, who hit a big 3 the other night at Harvard Westlake, is in. Bailey buries the triple.
Yeah, it's a great move by Bailey. Just a little bit of space, and he's able to cash in from downtown.
On the drive, Williams, and Bailey from behind thought he got all ball. He'll plead his case to the officials, but instead a foul is going to be called. They're going to get Manjikian.
Excellent pass by McBride. And we see the Huskies able to do that, Steve, off the 3 made by Bailey. So good transition offense by Centennial.
Here's Williams, who has 5 blocked shots in this game. Lanky young man. Offers from Washington, USC. Loyola Marymount, George Mason. He's just a junior. I think there's going to be a lot more to come. He scored a dozen against the Blazers in June. So he's been there, done that.
He's just going to get stronger, Steve, too. 6'9", 190. So rangy, great touch. Tough in the perimeter as well.
Huff trying to make that as difficult a 2 on Amari Bailey. Huff steps up for the deep 2. Missed it, but there is McBride. And a takeaway. Oh, this defense. This week in practice, just like in June leading up to this game, they had a lot of 5-on-6 press breaks. They worked that. It's paid off. Doesn't look like they only had one day to prepare for the Trailblazers, does it? Williams! Oh! And a steal by McCain and a bucket. They've got a 22-point lead.
The big four asserting themselves. McCain, Dent, McBride, and Williams.
Reverse is good by Amari Bailey.
Bailey is so crafty. Those comparisons to Kyrie Irving, so well-founded.
Oh, Dent! That's a bad knee. We might have got sandbagged in our pregame interviews. Timeout on the floor. 1:45 to go in the third. Listen to this building. They got the DJ in here. That's a spectacular move on the reverse. And then Dent changes hands. Both guys change hands. Man, that's fantastic.
On the schoolyard, Steve, you'd say one guy, Bailey, rang the phone, and then Dent answered it with the scoop at the other end.
Williams, 12 points, hitting the threes. Been phenomenal. The 5 blocks, so far the player of the game. Amari Bailey at 33 in the loss to the Huskies in June. While we have a moment, we need to talk about this. I hate to bring the mood down, but this man's very lucky to be with us tonight. That's Mike Caffey. He played here 2011, went on to Long Beach State. He was playing in Ukraine 2 weeks ago. It took him 6 days to flee Ukraine. He was playing there professionally for one of the 2 teams in Kyiv. He left Thursday from Kyiv in a car, took a train out to Poland, and was able to find his way back to the United States. Elohim missed it, got his own offensive rebound. There's going to be another tie-up. And it's sticking with Sierra Canyon. What a story that is. Lucky to be here after all that happened. We talked to him before the game. He was like, it was pleasant that Tuesday night before Russia invaded.
Just
said,
uncanny. Yeah.
There's a takeaway and a foul by Wright in the open floor. So everybody happy to see Mike Caffey back, safe in the United States.
Absolutely, Steve. No question about it. Get a good look here at Bronny James, trying to apply some pressure defense. But the big four of the Huskies, between McCain, Dent, McBride, and Williams, they have been sensational. And all of those hustle plays, Steve, they've been first to the floor, 50-50 balls. They've been great on the glass.
They're going to be the heavy favorites on Saturday night at the Golden One Center. Lloyd trying to take it coast to coast in the finger roll for Ramel Lloyd.
Now, here's the pressure. We've got a lot of time left here. It's got to start defensively. Great pick.
Yep, there's a takeaway, Lloyd, and he's fouled by McBride.
Now, Lloyd's a kid who's extremely talented.
That's the first on Aaron McBride.
Averages 12 points per night, a steal and a half. We just saw that.
Kajani Wright looks like he might have banged his hand just a little bit. He is holding his left arm, and he's going to ask to be out of the game. JoJo Phillips, a 6'7" junior, started his career first 2 years as a great varsity football player for Sierra Canyon, comes in.
So a little bit of a smaller lineup now for Sierra Canyon.
They lost Shai Odom in the first quarter very early. Went to the locker room. He returned to the floor, but not the game. And a lay-in by Freeney.
Textbook press break by Centennial. Well done.
That's when you are working on that 5-on-6 press break, huh? And there's a tie-up on Amari Bailey, and with the possession arrow, the Huskies are going to get it. There's our officiating crew, Southern Section officials. Let them play early on, I thought. And we thank them for doing that.
Yeah, it's such a tough job. They've done a really nice job this evening.
In the regionals, Josh was telling us before the game, in the regionals a few years ago, they had a crew that was not out of the Southern Section, and he felt really had a hard time adjusting to how fast-paced it is because they were from, I think, the Central Valley, he said, where you don't, not to take anything away from the Clovis West or how they play at, you know, any one of the Bakersfield or Fresno highs. But that crew had a little bit of an adjustment period.
It's such an important job and underappreciated.
I mean, I recall doing those Chino Hills games. It was hard for even a broadcaster to catch their breath. You certainly didn't need to prepare for any of those. You didn't have time to look down at your notes. 22-point lead here, final seconds of the third quarter. Huff the dagger. Rebounded by Elohim, who gets 3.5 of those a game. Matoyer at the buzzer, and he's fouled. How about that? With 0.3 of a second to go. You didn't need to do that. You might give up an easy 3 at the free throw line here.
Such a popular mantra amongst coaches, defend without fouling.
Foul was on Donovan Dent.
Yeah, so you want to contest, of course, but we'll see if the Blazers can build upon this heading into the final stanza.
Matoyer so far has made 1 of 2. He'll get a third one. And they're not going to put any time back on the clock. I mean, he obviously got fouled with probably 0.9 left, but looks like that's going to be the end of the quarter. And that's it. That'll be the end of the quarter. So Matoyer comes out, 6-2 out of 3 free throws, and makes it a 19-point game as we head to the fourth quarter. Back to the IE right after this.
And his social media fame. It's kind of fun. Just be more widely known for his energy and social media stardom. Guys, he has almost 1 million followers on TikTok and over 200,000 on Instagram. He tells me that after every win, he goes into the locker room and he records a TikTok with his team. So if this game continues the way we've seen it, you might just see that post-game on TikTok. Steve?
Thank you, Kristen. Centennial 8 minutes away from playing for their second ever state title. Last one, 2014. They lost to Monta Vista out of Danville. There's a foul, and that's going to be another on Donovan Dent.
So we had the Matoyer free throws at the end of the third quarter. A JoJo Phillips putback. Can the Blazers make a run? Now we know it's a game of creating, sustaining, and surviving runs. The Blazers held Harvard Westlake to 55 Saturday night. They've allowed 60, but we've got 7 and change to go here.
Oh, great Euro step, and Mikey Price, who's been awfully quiet, scores the bucket there. All of a sudden, it's a 15-point game, and they get it ahead to Williams! Devin Williams has got 14. Bailey, kick out. Matoyer, big 3, missed it. Price, the offensive rebound, and Williams thought he had a 6 block. Said he's going to get called for what should be his third foul.
So for Sierra Canyon, unfortunately, you give up the dunk by Williams at one end, but the energy level has picked up, and the pressure is paying off here as Price gets to the free throw line.
Makes the first, and Freeney's going to come in and give Williams a breather here as he leaves with 14 points, 3 personal fouls.
And for the Huskies, you must embrace this pressure just like it was as an invitation for a dunk at the other end.
Price leaves one. Freeney, who just came in, got the rebound. Out of bounds, and it's sticking with the Huskies of Centennial. Looking to go 32-1 and head to the Golden One Center on Saturday night. Tell you what, they have terrific trainers here, don't they? Josh Howe said one of them is a former Anaheim Ducks trainer, so they got Donovan Dent ready with a knee injury. McCain! And rebound Freeney, and he comes up short. Oh, that was a chippy. And here comes Price through traffic, and Price scores it and count it. All of a sudden, here come the Blazers.
Price has come out with a vengeance here in the final stanza. We see him attacking in attack mode. You know, Tim Capstraw, the Brooklyn Nets analyst, he talks about the paint. He makes a football analogy. It's like the battle at the line of scrimmage. Right now, Price is winning that battle.
Donovan Dent just picked up his 4th at the 6:34 mark. And his team is up 13. Wow, so you got Williams and Dent in foul trouble. And Dent drives on Bailey, can't score. Got an offensive rebound and a foul. And Williams is going to come right back in. They're going to get Elohim.
Now, Kristen Lago does such a terrific job for us courtside reporting. And what did Josh Price tell, Coach Giles, Price on my mind, Coach Giles tell her about the Blazers, how explosive they are?
Here's Dent, New Mexico signee, averaging 17 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds. He already has 6 assists in the game. Had 21 points against Sierra Canyon in the June title game. And again, I remember back to doing that game over in Chatsworth. Like this game, they had great defense and everybody chipped in. And everybody is doing their part here. They really only go 7 deep. And a solid effort by the Huskies.
You're so right, Steve. I mean, he's an 80% free throw shooter. McCain is 90% when they have the ball in their hands so much of the time. They kill you at the free throw line when they get there as well.
Look at McBride and another tie-up. And it's going to be Husky basketball here. 6:13 to go.
Great hustle by Matoyer. Such a good two-way player. See him getting involved here.
We got a whistle on the inbound. And there's going to be a quick foul. They got Amari Bailey for tugging on the shirt of one of the Huskies. And so now with that being the 7th-team foul, we'll come back for a 1-and-1 on the other end, and it's going to be Ramsey Huff. Again, they had a 5-star point guard recruit here, Kylan Boswell, who helped lead him to a championship in the Open Division Southern section in June 8 months ago. He has since transferred away. He'll play at Arizona for Tommy Lloyd. And they didn't even miss a step. They're 31-1, ranked 2nd in the nation, 1st in the state of California.
So true. McCain commented publicly, a lot of people counted this out. They play with a chip on their shoulder, and you're right, Steve, did not miss a beat at all.
So we got to do the dirty work to win this, take the fight to them, and they have. Here's a deep 3 by Lloyd. McCain tried to get the rebound. It's out of bounds. It'll be Husky ball. I love the story they told us, too, after they won that game, right? They get back on Monday to practice to get ready for Section 7s because they were skipping the regionals last year. There were ants everywhere, right? And they had to clean up all the ants. The kids, the coaches, everybody. McCain spots up a big 3, and it's gone! Jared McCain!
That's McCain's game. Can score in all thirds.
They knew that Sierra Canyon was going to face guard him, deny him the ball. He's had a hard time scoring, but gets left open right there uncontested. And a timeout Huskies here. 5:43 to go, and it's a 20-point game. We'll take a break right here. When we come back, we'll have the conclusion of the CIF SoCal Open Division Regional Championship game. Winner moving on to the Golden One Center in Sacramento to play for a state title. 91. There's your traffic and weather together on the 7th. McCain steps in for a 2. Missed it. Rebounded by Williams momentarily and stripped away by Matoyer. Matoyer with the outlet pass down the floor. Elohim spins and with the left hand puts it off the window.
Major move by Elohim. Great vision by Matoyer. Some young players who, of course, will be back for the Blazers.
Poor master control operator. This is going to be a 90-minute melt tape. And for those who aren't familiar with the TV lingo, that's where you break up the best plays, right? And then you feed it down the line so that all the pre- and post-game shows have it. There have been some spectacular plays here.
There really have been. And we've got oodles of hoop coming up at the downtown edifice, the Golden One Center in the state capital of Sacramento.
For the first time since 2019. Last state championship game played, the Blazers were in it. Put on quite a show against Sacramento Sheldon. Doesn't look like they're going to get back unless they can make up the 18 points. Attacking the hoop is Lloyd. Here's that press break again. Huff dribbles through it. Got plenty of time, so Josh Dow says, hey, just work it between the circles here. Dent playing with 4 fouls.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Steve. Play with poise on both ends of the floor if you're the Huskies.
And, oh, you could see that developing, Bill Herenda.
Dent was cogitating, surveying, makes a move, gorgeous finish.
And there's Amari Bailey. There's Huff, lobs it up, and Williams, and he's fouled. Count it.
Williams is so adroitly attacking the basket. And just a great look by Huff. So magnanimous. That's what you got to love about this squad, Steve. Like you said, they're about 7 deep. But the big 4 of McCain, Dent, McBride, Williams play so hard. We talk about in the NBA, playing hard being a skill. And that is personified by the entire Huskies roster.
What a crossover by Elohim. He's still got 2 years to go. Again, he was the California Freshman of the Year last year at Heritage Christian in Northridge. An easy bucket on the other end by Ramsey Huff. And there's Matoyer. Dent with the board. Outlet goes to McCain. McCain drives in and he's fouled. Mikey Price got him.
McCain is so intelligent offensively, Steve. He senses that he can create the contact there and get to the free throw line. So crafty offensively. Shoots with tremendous range.
90% at the charity stripe. Again, offers from USC, UCLA, Houston, Gonzaga, Duke, and Louisville. And his last 2 recent visits have been to Gonzaga and Duke. And I was trying to remember the last time Gonzaga's come down and taken an athlete from Southern California where, you know, they didn't get a USC transfer in. Something like that. When they had took a prep kid. That's saying something if you're on Gonzaga's radar. Mark Few usually loves those overseas guys, right? And then those 5 stars.
Absolutely.
Oh, another spin move by Elohim and gets the jumper to go down.
What a special talent Elohim is with a tremendous upside.
And a timeout. I remember Duke getting Cherokee Parks out of Southern California. That's the first one that comes to mind.
Jay Bill is a Californian.
That's right.
Duke back in the day.
How about the evening Ramsey Huff, the senior, has had. His coach calls him a stud of a kid. He only averages 9 points a game. Cal State East Bay, Menlo College have made offers. And it started guns a-blazing with 4 threes right out of the gate.
He set the tone early, Steve. They went up 9-zip. And Huff, look at the space. He had great looks and took advantage. And again, sometimes there's no substitute for making shots. And we see him here driving and finishing as well, switching hands.
He's in the discussion for MVP. One might also say that Devin Williams, with his 18 points and 7 block shots, also is in the discussion for player of the game. Elohim has 16 to lead Sierra Canyon on the other ledger. Time's running out on the Blazers. Ranked 2nd in California, 11th nationally. About to suffer their 5th defeat of the season, and only the 2nd to a team in California. The other one would have been Harvard Westlake. They finally got revenge there. What a block by Lloyd, playing with 4 fouls. Here's Bronny James, pull-up 3 on its way. No good. And Lloyd had the offensive rebound. Back in came right and knocked it out of bounds away from him. Can't get out of their own way here tonight.
Yeah, it's been a tough night for Sierra Canyon.
I didn't expect this. 22-point lead for the Huskies. They're going to be 32-1 in 243. Headed to the state championship game. They'll be heavy, heavy favorites. Campolindo will likely be the team they'll face. They got a really good guard who won a state championship as a freshman. They also have Randy Bennett's son, the St. Mary's head coach, on that team. And there's a basket by Wright. He's fouled, and an assist there by Ramel Lloyd.
Yeah, Kajani Wright with such great size, svelte and sinewy, such a handful at 6'9", 250.
Second foul on Aaron McBride.
But the execution, Steve, by Centennial tonight has really been sensational. The well-balanced play, the high-quality shots, the low turnovers, the tenacious defense, owning the glass, as we talked about early.
Look at McBride run the floor. He's looking for the assist, and he got pushed. Good Johnny Wright called for the foul.
And McBride has done so many things well tonight that don't show up. Number 21 in white. The screen assist, the deflections, hitting the deck. He's been the first one on the floor for loose balls. He's really done a terrific job. Just tremendous effort by Aaron McBride.
I'd say they did the dirty work here tonight, huh?
Yes, absolutely.
Their only loss of the season came on November the 26th, Thanksgiving weekend, against Duncanville out of Texas. They're the number 1 ranked team. And since then, Josh Giles' team has won 28 in a row. And he said Sierra Canyon reminds us exactly of Duncanville. So I'd say they've closed the gap between November 26th and the end of the year.
Yeah. And they beat Kimball the very next night. As McBride hears it from the fans, acknowledging his effort tonight.
Here's Bailey. Final game in a Sierra Canyon uniform. Elohim, the free throw line jumper, is good.
Elohim has been sensational tonight for Sierra Canyon.
What a career Amari Bailey had. He won a state championship as a freshman. We thought, hey, he was going to go all Stanley Johnson and win 4 in 4 years, right? But the pandemic had other ideas, and it looks like Centennial has other ideas here in his senior year.
You're going to hear a lot more from Amari Bailey as his career progresses, and Kajani Wright as well.
Here's Dent. What a move by Donovan Dent. Lobo Land is going to love this kid. Might bring him back to the days where they had a fantastic team. Now the reverse by Elohim, nothing there. Great storied program at New Mexico that's been down the last few years, and will certainly rebuild behind number 2 here in white.
Yeah, absolutely. Mountain West Conference is back, but the Lobos not yet. Dent's going to help them get there.
They're going to win this thing by double digits for their 29th straight win, their 32nd win of the year. Here's Williams. Oh, wouldn't this be a fitting exclamation point? And it's gone! Oh!
The coup de grace from Williams.
21 for Williams with the 7 blocks. 83-59. They can dribble it out here. Shot clock is off. For the second consecutive time, Centennial is going to beat Sierra Canyon in a game that counted.
Just a tremendous wire-to-wire effort by Centennial on their home floor, getting it done.
Final 3 seconds of this one. And the Huskies have done it. They're off to Sacramento for just the second time in school history. Winning their second ever regional, their first since 2014, when they beat Chino Hills in Ontario that had a couple of Ball brothers. We'll take a break. When we come back, the trophy presentation, all the post-game festivities. Centennial with a 29th consecutive win. They are the Open Division SoCal Regional Champs. Up next, Sacramento.
We got the killers over here.
Yeah! We got killers over here.